Welcome, discerning minds and fellow explorers of history, to a somber journey into the darkest corridors of human governance. Today, we confront the chilling legacies of 5 individuals whose reigns plunged nations into unimaginable suffering, offering profound lessons for political science enthusiasts and history buffs alike. We will dissect the mechanisms of their power, the ideologies they warped, and the catastrophic human cost of their absolute rule. Dictators are not born in a vacuum. Their ascent is often a grim reflection of societal vulnerabilities and historical currents. Economic despair, political instability, and the seductive allure of radical ideologies frequently pave the way for their rise. Understanding these foundational elements is crucial to grasping the full scope of their destructive impact. Their methods, though varied, often share common threads: the systematic dismantling of democratic institutions, the suppression of dissent, and the cultivation of a pervasive cult of personality. Each tyrant we examine serves as a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for both profound evil and enduring resilience. Let us now turn our gaze to these architects of suffering. Emerald Clip, black and white war footage, Nuremberg rallies, concentration camp gates. Adolf Hitler's rise from an obscure demagogue to the Führer of the Third Reich is a chilling testament to the fragility of democracy. Capitalizing on post-World War I humiliation and economic collapse, his Nazi party offered a potent cocktail of nationalistic fervor and anti-Semitic scapegoating. He systematically dismantled the Weimar Republic, establishing a totalitarian state built on racial purity and aggressive expansionism. His regime orchestrated the Holocaust, the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews, alongside millions of Roma, Slavs, disabled individuals, and political opponents. This industrial-scale genocide was meticulously planned and executed, revealing the horrifying potential of state-sponsored hatred. Hitler's insatiable territorial ambitions ignited World War II, a conflict that claimed an estimated 70 to 85 million lives globally. The legacy of Nazism underscores the catastrophic dangers of unchecked authoritarianism, racial supremacy, and the weaponization of propaganda. It serves as a perpetual warning against the normalization of hatred and the erosion of fundamental human rights. The world continues to grapple with the profound moral and ethical questions raised by his reign. Clip, Soviet imagery, snowy landscapes, gulag footage, propaganda posters. Joseph Stalin consolidated power after Lenin's death, transforming the Soviet Union into a brutal totalitarian state under the guise of Marxist-Leninist ideology. His rule was characterized by an omnipresent secret police, pervasive surveillance, and a relentless campaign to eliminate perceived enemies of the state. The Great Purge of the 1930s saw millions arrested, executed, or sent to the infamous Gulag labor camps. Stalin's forced collectivization of agriculture led to widespread famine, most notably the Holodomor in Ukraine, which claimed millions of lives. Historians estimate that his policies and purges were directly responsible for the deaths of 6 to 20 million people, though some figures suggest even higher tolls. He ruthlessly suppressed all forms of dissent, creating a climate of fear that permeated every aspect of Soviet society. His regime exemplifies how a revolutionary ideal can be twisted into a monstrous instrument of state control and human suffering. Stalin's legacy is a stark reminder of the perils of absolute power, the dangers of ideological extremism, and the devastating consequences of a government that prioritizes state control over individual liberty. The scars of his rule run deep within the former Soviet bloc. Clip, crowded marches, red guards, rural China, propaganda art. Mao Zedong, the founding father of the People's Republic of China, initially garnered support for unifying a war-torn nation. However, his subsequent policies led to unparalleled human catastrophe. His vision for a rapid industrialization and agricultural transformation known as the Great Leap Forward. 1958-1962 proved disastrous. It resulted in one of the deadliest famines in human history. Misguided agricultural policies, coupled with exaggerated production reports and a lack of accountability, led to the deaths of an estimated 15 to 45 million people. Later, the Cultural Revolution, 1966-1976, was launched to purge perceived capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society. This decade-long socio-political upheaval destroyed cultural heritage, persecuted intellectuals, and plunged the nation into chaos. Mao's rule demonstrates the profound dangers of a cult of personality combined with radical social engineering on a national scale. His actions highlight how even well-intentioned revolutionary fervor can devolve into widespread destruction and immense human suffering. The long-term impacts of his policies continue to shape contemporary China. Clip, abandoned buildings, skull memorials, forced labor scenes. Pol Pot and his Khmer Rouge regime unleashed an auto-genocide of unprecedented brutality upon Cambodia. Driven by a radical agrarian communist ideology, they sought to create a classless, agrarian society by forcibly evacuating cities and sending the entire population to collective farms. Money, private property, and religion were abolished, and all foreign influences were purged. Intellectuals, professionals, ethnic minorities, and anyone perceived as having ties to the previous regime or Western culture were systematically targeted and executed. Even wearing glasses or speaking a foreign language could be a death sentence. In just 4 years, an estimated 1.5 to 2 million Cambodians, nearly a quarter of the population, perished from execution, starvation, disease, or overwork. The Cambodian genocide stands as a chilling example of how extreme ideology, when combined with absolute power, can lead to the systematic destruction of a nation's own people. It serves as a stark warning about the dangers of utopian visions enforced through terror and the complete dehumanization of perceived enemies. The killing fields remain a haunting memorial to this dark chapter. Clip: African landscape, soldiers, newspaper headlines, archival footage. Idi Amin Dada seized power in Uganda through a military coup, quickly establishing a brutal and erratic dictatorship. Initially welcomed by some, his regime rapidly devolved into a reign of terror, marked by widespread human rights abuses, political repression, and economic collapse. He purged ethnic groups, particularly the Acholi and Lango, and expelled the entire Asian minority population, devastating the economy. Amin's secret police, the State Research Bureau, became notorious for its arbitrary arrests, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Estimates of those killed under his rule range from 100,000 to 500,000, though some sources suggest even higher figures. His regime's atrocities drew international condemnation, yet he remained in power for 8 years, largely due to Cold War geopolitical complexities. Amin's rule exemplifies the dangers of military coups, the fragility of nascent democracies, and the devastating impact of a leader who prioritizes personal power and paranoia over the welfare of their nation. His legacy is a somber reminder of how quickly a nation can descend into chaos and brutality when institutions are weak and power is unchecked. These 5 dictators, though separated by geography and ideology, share a common thread. Their regimes were built on fear, deception, and the systematic dehumanization of others. Their stories are not mere historical footnotes, they are urgent warnings. They teach us that vigilance against the erosion of democratic norms, the dangers of unchecked power, and the insidious spread of hate is paramount. For history buffs and political science enthusiasts, these narratives offer invaluable insights into the mechanisms of totalitarianism, the psychology of power, and the enduring struggle for human dignity. Understanding these dark chapters is not about dwelling on despair, but about arming ourselves with knowledge to safeguard against their recurrence. If this deep dive into history's most destructive leaders has resonated with you, please engage with us. Hit that like button, share your insights in the comments below, and subscribe to A Piece of Minds for more rigorous historical analysis. Let us collectively commit to learning from the past, ensuring that the echoes of tyranny serve as a perpetual call to vigilance and justice.